Hey, welcome to episode 1822.
Wow.
What are we? 157, is it?
Something like that. Vince, I didn't look today. I always kind of refresh myself. I think it's 156, 157, right there.
Fine, we're just shutting it down, JJ.
That's it. Man, I've lost control.
Hey, I got something to say to you.
Uh-oh, what's going on?
Happy Veterans Day, and thank you for your service. And for
Thank you,
the
sir.
rest of you out there who are veterans, and I know we have a lot, thank you for your service. Much appreciated. Um, awesome. Awesome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Do you have a favorite like veterans movie? A movie about any kind of military or anything like that? We always talk movies and stuff.
Boy, I really like Saving Private Ryan.
That's a good one.
I really like that. I This is going to sound so cheesy. There was an 80s movie called Uncommon Valor where they have to go back into Vietnam and rescue some POWs. It's
Oh,
got
yeah, who is in that?
Patrick Swayze in it, a very young
Oh,
Patrick Swayze, Gene Hackman,
I love
uh,
Gene Hackman.
Randall Tex Cobb, the boxer's in it.
Oh, he's a tough guy.
Red Brown's in it. It's
Oh,
it's kind of, but it's one of those things. I also like Red Dawn, the original Red Dawn.
Wolverines. Yeah.
It's like
That
if it's
that
on, I
it,
gotta watch
it's
it.
fun. That's a fun movie. Mine is The Great Escape with Steve McQueen. Star-studded, the three tunnels. They're in a I won't say concentration camp, but they're in a camp, a prisoners camp, and they're trying to escape, and they've got the greatest escaped artists all in one camp together, and it's star-studded, and it's about a 3.5 hour movie. I love
Yeah,
that movie right
it's
there.
it's a long one. Yeah,
That's a long one.
I
Yes.
like the Fighting Seabees.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I like that when I was a kid. I would watch that. Um, um,
George
Letters.
C. Scott and Patton, when he was like having those deja vu moments, he was remembering the Roman and the Carthaginians, and you could hear that chung 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 music when he remembered all these other battles from other lifetimes ago. That was George C. Scott, man, he was great in that. That speech at the beginning, that just man, he nailed that thing.
Yeah, and these two movies I like. They go together. Flags of Our Fathers and Letters from Iwo Jima. Uh,
Oh, okay,
uh, from both sides,
I see.
seeing the
I haven't seen
perspective
either
on
one
both.
of those. I'll have to check those out.
Oh, they're very good, very good. Yeah, and so let me ask you this: I was raised a huge Hogan's Heroes fan,
Love it.
and now I have found out that Hogan's Heroes is like
Cringe or
canceled.
something?
So I'm like,
Oh, really?
I
It's
just
still on
thought it
like
was.
MeTV and stuff. And I know my grandfather, he was a Marine in World War II, and he did not like Gomer's Pile. He thought that was very disrespectful. And I said, "Oh, Grandpa, I think it's a good show. He's out there trying to be the best him he can be and through the Marines." But he didn't see it that way. And I never asked about Hogan's Heroes, to be honest with you. But I enjoy that show. It kind of reminds me of a TV version of The Great Escape, kind of,
Yeah, yeah, that's what it's based off of.
Yeah,
But I know Bob Crane
he had some problems.
murdered, and then if you've the most one of the most disturbing movies I ever saw was Autofocus about the life of Bob Crane.
I never watched that one.
It's too
Disturbing.
creepy for me. It's
Mm.
yeah, it's uh he was a vile human being. I'll just put it that way. And I think Greg Kinnear plays him, and his friend is played by Willem Dafoe, and Willem Dafoe is just the king of playing creepy characters.
He's on another level with that. I
Yeah,
don't know what it is. Yes, I know
and
what you
every time
mean.
I see him interviewed or something, he seems like the nicest, most normal guy.
Yeah.
But then when you
Oh,
see him in some of these movies, you're like, gosh, man, he plays.
he goes
Um,
to some dark places.
when I saw, have you ever seen Shadow of the Vampire?
With Nicolas Cage? Is that the
No,
Nicolas Cage one? Okay.
no. This is the one with John Malkovich and Willem Dafoe, and it's a story of the making of Nosferatu. But the
Oh,
twist is he's really a vampire, and
oh,
so when they're filming him, he's actually sucking the blood out of someone. It's very creepy. But Willem Dafoe is great in that too. Um,
I
how,
like him as an actor. He's great in everything, but he is just sort of like Christopher Walken, just a little different. You know, he's there's something about him.
I'll tell you a story. I went with a big group of friends. At one time, I did have big groups of friends.
I'll take your word
Um,
for
Me and my ex-wife and about four or five other couples. We went to the movies to go see the girls. The ladies went to go see Steel Magnolias,
it.
and the men went to go see Born on the Fourth of July.
Oh,
Now, this was the first theater I'd ever been to that served nachos. Oh, nachos. So I bought nachos. I was so into that movie and so grossed out. I ate the nachos. When we walked out, I looked like a little kid. I had cheese all over me.
you were into it, just watching it. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, but especially for combat vets, the stuff that they went through,
Oh,
and I'm not just talking about, people who sacrifice their lives. I'm talking about people who sacrifice their mental health. Um, eh, Combat vets who did that, they deserve so much respect.
oh
And
yes,
I
sir.
I wish we were doing a better job in this country taking care of our veterans. You know, uh,
Yeah.
all right, no soapbox though. Um, JJ, I want to remind everybody that this Saturday from 9 to 1, we will be at Herculaneum High School with our crafts called Nostalgia Nook. And if you want to kill some time on a Saturday, across the street at the AmVets from I think 8 to 3, they're also having our craft show there. So a lot of
Oh,
stuff to do. Take your wives, take your girlfriends, but do not take your wives and girlfriends at the same time. And
bad
that's
idea.
a recipe for disaster. They will both be asking for your wallet, so don't do it.
Yeah, run.
Have you seen that clip of that boxer? It's serious. He won a match and he said, I'd like to thank my wife. I'd like to thank my girlfriend. Oh, I mean, I'd like to thank my wife. He got it himself.
Oh, oh man. Oh no, I
Uh,
haven't seen that to answer your question. Oh Lordy.
Speaking of seeing things, um, we've been watching Welcome to Derry on, I think, is that on Netflix or HBO Max?
Hmm.
It is related to the It. It's from Stephen King, and Pennywise is in it. It's just been alluded to so far. Man, we are 3 episodes in. I can't wait for the next one to drop. It is so good.
Looks pretty scary though. I
Yeah,
seen the kids going down into the tunnels and stuff, and I don't know that Vince, that stuff ain't for me. I don't know. I'll listen to you tell me how good it is, but that'll be good enough for me.
I told Kathy this is like Stranger Things, but a lot more intense.
Okay.
Um, just a lot more intense. So, oh, by the way, those of you
Yes.
who are watching on the YouTube channel, remember to subscribe to our channel. We would greatly appreciate that and share it with people. The more interaction we have on our channel, the more it helps the algorithm. And I just learned that word like 3 weeks ago. That's why I started using an algorithm. So
That's a tough one.
I don't know what it is, but it needs help. So
Yeah, I
by
need some
sharing,
algorithms.
yeah. um, Also, if you'd like to contact us in one way or another, make sure that you do that through one of our platforms, through the YouTube channel. You can leave a comment on the podcast. You can leave a comment on the podcast. If you want to DM us personally, you can do that. Or if you like to use the old fashioned email, one card, one cup, one beer at gmail.com. And those of you who are on Facebook, please make sure that you like us on Facebook because that also helps the algorithm. JJ, do we want to talk baseball?
Oh, always. This is my highlight of my week right here. I get together, we get all of our friends, we talk baseball. They send us back some responses, some ideas, and I find out what I said wrong and all the mistakes I made, and I try to make them better this week. So that's my goal.
Well, Craig Stamen has been hired as San Diego's manager, and it's yeah, all these big names have been up for management positions, and then they're hiring people from college. They're hiring people that don't have a whole lot of experience aside from coaching. And I guess there's very few really great baseball players that have made successful managers. You know, some of them have done okay. Frank Robinson did pretty good. Um, Ted Williams had some good years with the I think it was the last
Senators.
year in Washington and the first year in Texas. He did
Oh,
pretty
that's
good.
right.
And
Billy Martin.
I don't know if Billy Martin was a good manager, if he just was everybody
I
was
don't know.
afraid of him.
He was well. He always thought he was paranoid, so he had strategies of to stop things that he thought would happen. And they said he had about 7 different ways to move a runner from third home, just different little things he would notice. And um, Ricky Henderson said that he would tell him when to run. He would know when the pitcher was throwing, what he was when the sequence was when the breaking ball was coming. And so Ricky listened to Billy, and Billy would send him. And
Wow.
a lot of success there. So Billy was a student of the game. He was a wild man, though. He couldn't keep a job for very long, but man, he knew baseball. If somebody could have corralled him in, he could have been one of the all-time greats, I think.
A lot of people don't know this, but he was tortured as a child. He was tied up in his basement. They threw marshmallows at him. And every time he ran into a marshmallow salesman,
Oh yeah,
beat him up.
that's true. I
I,
remember that.
I remember when I was a kid and I heard that story, I thought, there are people and it's their job to sell marshmallows. How do I get in on this? That sounds like
Yeah,
a job.
man, marshmallow salesman.
But
Oh,
the Padres are no longer managerless, and I'm kind of wondering. I'm kind of excited to see how the players respond.
yeah,
Um, because like I said, during the playoffs, they look flat.
yeah.
So, and, yeah, people say, well, that's great pitching makes you look flat, and it does. So, um, we'll see. And I thought this was real cool. The Bruce Bochy has been hired by the Giants as an advisor.
I think that's a great move with that young college coach. You got Buster Posey, who's loved and admired by San Francisco fans, and now Bochy, who's a legend himself. You got both of those guys with him. Uh, you can't go wrong getting advice from the one and only Bruce Bochy, future Hall of Famer there. So that'll be great for the team and for baseball.
Could you imagine you're a manager right out of Tennessee, and you walk into your first big meeting with the head honchos, and there's Buster Posey and Bruce Bochy.
Yeah.
Someone's like, "What do you guys want me to do?"
That's right. You got to have a good ego not to be like, hey, wait a minute, I'm the manager. I would want all the help I could get. Bring them all, bring all the great ones, great minds, and let's build a super team here. So he'll be what they say in wrestling, the learning tree. When you work with Flair or the Undertaker or something, you're going to the learning tree. So he's going to the learning tree this year and learn the pro way of playing ball and dealing with these guys that make a ton of money, athletes. I don't think you can treat them the same as you do a college kid. So you got to be a little. I don't know how you handle stuff like that. So it'll be good. It'll be a good experience. I'm pulling for the Giants this year. I like to see them do good.
Yeah, I would too. I'd like to see them beat the Dodgers.
Beat the snot out of them.
I'd like to
Yeah.
see the Rockies do good. I'd like to see the
Yeah.
Padres do good and the Diamondbacks do good. Like all those
Yeah.
four teams to do good.
Oh yeah, that'll be great.
Speaking of the learning tree, have you ever heard the Undertaker tell the story of when he was young and he faced Brody?
His first match in Texas. Yeah, he started calling the match, and he's a rookie.
Yeah, he said, "Well, the first thing I realized is, hey, I'm bigger than him." And He's trying to call the match, and after about a minute and a half, Brody said, "Come on, we're going for a walk." Threw him out of the ring and beat the snot out of him.
He, he was telling. I heard the story as he's telling it to Stone Cold, and Stone Cold goes, "You started calling the match?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm an idiot." And then he went to hook up with him, and his hand slipped, and he hit Brody in the chin, and that's kind of when the it all turned dark right there.
I've heard different wrestlers. I think one of them was Stan Lane
Oh,
talk
Stan.
about how they were scared to face Brody. They got in the ring and he was so good to work with. And then I've heard other people say he was a nightmare. But I think it was Stan Lane was saying that it was a tag match or a handicap match, and the guy was on the apron, and Brody kicked him, kayfabe kicked him, and he held on to the ropes and didn't fall out. So Brody had enough of that and kicked him for real and knocked him flat. So Stan Lane's like, I'm left in there with Brody. So Brody goes for the big knee, and he said he goes up in the air, and I'm thinking I'm going to be hurt so bad. He said it was like a feather hit me. He said it was
He
just,
took care of him.
yeah.
Now
So,
Stan was blind. He that's why he always squinted. So sometimes he misjudged his punches, and he'd really clock you. I know he got Vader one time and broke his socket here, and the eye was kind of hanging out, and he thought, oh, we're gonna have problems when after the match he's gonna come into the dressing room and we're gonna be fighting. And he came in and hugged him and said that was the greatest match, you know. So some of these guys, they're just tough, man.
yeah.
I'd be hanging it up right there.
Well, back to baseball.
Oh yes, the great game of baseball.
Uh, Clase and Ortiz, the two relievers from Cleveland, have been indicted on the in the gambling fix for throwing baseball games. So, and I've heard people say, "Well, this is what happens whenever you get baseball got in bed with all these gambling things." No, it doesn't. This could happen at anybody at any time. If you're a player on the take, it doesn't matter if there's a fan duel next door or some mobster put you up to it. If you're on the take, you're on the take. And which I don't get, Emmanuel Clase makes good money. Why
Oh
the
yeah,
heck are you doing this?
don't know. I always try to think. You know, some people say gambling can become a sickness. You know, you become allured by the prospects of making even more money, but they want to make it to do what they did. The penalty was much greater than what they were getting, and then you think, well, maybe some gangsters forced them to do this. You know, like had something on them and forced them to do this. But according to all the reports, that wasn't the case either. Um, they could do prison time, both of them. They got them on fraud, conspiracy, and bribery charges. Now, I don't think they'll do any prison time, but I don't think they'll ever be playing in the major leagues again. And evidently, these gambling sites, they make a lot of money, and they notice when there's like a red flag, when all of a sudden a huge amount of bets come up. So now uh, the gambling sites is working with the sports, because I know basketball's just had some problems. Baseball's had some problems in the past with an umpire and an infielder from the Padres as well, and they're out of baseball.
Basketball had a referee
Yes.
involved about
Yeah, and they can control a game like in football. If you had a referee, they could control a game with all the penalties and everything. So, what they're going to do, I heard, is they're trying to do. I've got this written down. Change the maximum bets on these. They call them like little standard bets, like throwing one pitch, and you can't parlay those. Like you can't say this pitch I bet will be a ball, and this will be under 90 miles an hour. You can't parlay that anymore where you could before, and there's only a $200 maximum bet on things like that, because they were seeing these huge uh, 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 betting lines going way up on some of these things. And that's actually how they caught these fellas. Then the FBI got involved, and they got their messages and everything off their computers. And so, Now they're facing major charges on that. So it's sad to see, but maybe this will clean some of that up too, Vince.
I yeah, I hope so. You work all your life to become a major league baseball player, all the hours and sweat and everything you put into it. And yeah, there's talent. The talent alone doesn't make its drive, its determination. It's you stick with it. And then to throw it all away when you get paid well. If you've ever seen the movie Eight Man Out about the Black Sox scandal, you I can understand why they were on the take. Um, and from what I've read, it's a pretty accurate portrayal that Charles Comiskey, the White Sox owner, paid them very little. When they won the pennant, he actually did have champagne so cheap it didn't even bubble.
Is
Yeah, he was just a terrible guy, and they weren't making much money, and they were approached, by gamblers, to throw the game. Um, but in today's world, when they're making so much money, what are you thinking?
no, yeah. That's the
I
main thing, Vince, the integrity of the game. And baseball has to protect that because why even watch it if it's predetermined or somebody's just going to throw it? So they will protect that because that's their bread and butter right there. By the way, I like your Memphis jersey. I love that. I noticed that a while ago.
and that's the when we went to the Memphis
Redbirds.
Redbirds game when they had the
Ah, very
uh,
nice.
Memphis. What were their names? The Memphis Red Sox, was it? The Negro League team from Memphis. So
Oh yeah. I don't remember.
yeah, that's this. It's the Negro League team.
Ah, right.
Uh, Red Sox. Yeah, Red Sox.
Okay. Memphis Red Sox. Very cool.
So yeah, very cool. Um, there's no obituaries, which
All
is
right.
good. Everybody's still alive. And let's talk about Rookie of the Year real quick.
Sure.
Um, I said on here last week, if Drake Baldwin wins, I'm not going to be upset, and I'm not. It was a close. Uh, either one of them could have won. He or Kate Horton. They both had great seasons. So I'm not like such a homer. Oh, he got screwed. He didn't get screwed. Drake Baldwin had a great year. To be a catcher and a rookie and to hit almost 20 home runs and drive in 75, 80 runs.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a year for a rookie who's also handling the pitching staff. And you're playing for a team that was beat up. So you know, if if he if he wouldn't have emerged, they would have been
Oh
even
yeah.
worse with all that talent. So I'm happy that Drake Baldwin won. I'd rather have Kate Horton won, but I he lost it to someone who was deserving. So that's pretty cool. And Nick Kurtz won in the American League, and I've got to say we both called that one.
That was, you know what? That was a pretty easy pick. He had from beginning to end, that 4 home run game. And my goodness, I think Oakland's building something really good because the number two guy was Jacob Wilson. And it reminds me of the old 70s, early 70s age where they're starting to piece together these outstanding players and all these young prospects. And it's by the time they hit Vegas, it could be something real special there happening for the Athletics.
Yeah, I really like Jacob Wilson's game. He reminds me a lot of um, Nico Horner. I'm not talking about defensively. I'm talking about his hitting style. He's a contact hitter. He will take a big cut when he's in a count where a big cut matters. That's kind of like Nico Horner. He's not going to take this big home run swing when it's 1 and 2. That's when he puts the bat on the ball. And Jacob Wilson, he will muscle up early in the count, but then when he gets two strikes on him, he becomes a contact hitter. And that's kind of how I was taught. Early in the count, take your big swings. And then when you get two strikes on you, try to put the bat on the ball and make something happen.
think
So
we're going to see some more of that, Vince, because Toronto, that was sort of their the Blue Jays this year. That was their mantra. It seemed like we're going to get our home runs, but when we get down the count, we're going to make contact and see what happens. And man, what a year! And that team from the top to the bottom were tough outs. They'd make the pitchers work, get the counts up, and put the ball in play. So if you take your walk, the next guy can come up and get it done. So maybe that's a new thing that's going to happen instead of people just, launch angle and all that kind of stuff. A lot more money and success will happen for people. The batting average will start to go back up again because I like that.
I
I
think
like,
Jacob Wilson finished was a 311 batting average,
yeah, he was over 300, and there wasn't many over 300 batting averages this year.
only one in the National League. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, he would
Uh,
have won the batting title in the National League.
And then you have Roman Anthony. That's another thing. This guy, he got hurt. I don't think he would have been beat Kurtz, but he would have been like right there with Wilson. Uh, Heck of a year when he played, but he got hurt. And the Red Sox, again, another good hitting prospect. They always come up with these hitters. And if they ever get some pitching, look out, man. That's going to be a tough team here real soon.
Well, I did see when I saw that Nick Kurtz won it, I realized I hate him. Good
Is he
looking.
good? Is he a good looking fella? Is that it?
Uh,
uh, Vince, one of the things I noticed, see what you think about this. Now with Baldwin winning the catcher, and it's the first catcher to be the rookie of the year in the National League since Buster Posey, but they've got a problem now because Baldwin will want to play. He had the best block ball ratio in baseball, but now you got Sean Murphy who was hurt, and he'll be coming back this year. And I don't know what you got Baldwin and Murphy, and I think Murphy's might be the highest paid catcher in the game right now. So what are you going to do with those guys? They're going to split time. Are you going to put them one at DH? I know Murphy's going to want to catch when he comes back. He's a very, very good catcher. So I guess it's a good problem to have. But man, that's I think they both will be wanting to catch. And the other thing I noticed is in the National League Rookie of the Year voting, the Brewers had 4 guys in the voting that got votes for Rookie of the Year. My gosh, that's some new, yeah, a new wave of great good players coming. So it looks like the Brewers are going to be good for a while, Vince, with all this talent.
and JJ, would you watch your language?
I know they can lose their best player and they'll be right up there, man.
Oh, well, for manager of the year, winning his second consecutive manager of the year is Pat Murphy of the Brewers. And this just in, also winning his second consecutive manager of the year, Stephen Vaught of the Guardians.
Wow, he
Both
deserved
managers,
it.
and JJ and I were talking before we started recording. You very seldom see manager of the year go back to back. And it happened in both leagues. And we called both of them, by the way.
Oh yeah, when Cleveland lost 2 of their bullpen guys, or 2 of their pitchers, I thought, oh, it's tough anyway. And Detroit's just running away with that division. I mean, I thought, well, it's just an off year for Cleveland. Well, what did I know? They rallied the troops and came back and won that division. And good for Cleveland. Good for boy. That's good. That's a good fan base. And man, and again, Murphy as well. I don't know how he does it, but there he is again with a good team.
Yeah. And I loved when they first opened the stadium in Cleveland back in the mid 90s, called it Jacobs Field. They called it the Jake. You know, it was like a big deal. It was a modern stadium, and they had a great team back then. They had Tomei, Ramirez,
Bell,
Baerga, Albert Bell. Yeah, they were just so
Murph,
good.
Eddie Murray, I think was on that team.
Yeah, Eddie Murray played in that on that World Series team in '95. So I just a great team. And then um the last, I don't know, 10 years, the stadium's kind of been maligned. And when Max and I went a few years ago, I loved it.
Did you,
I love huge concourse. You walk right in, huge concourse. Parking was fantastic. It was easy to get in and out. And being the concourse is so big, you're not like running into people. And I'm so used to baseball stadiums where the concourses are not that big. And, when you have a big crowd, no, there was a pretty good crowd there that night. And just so much room there. I really liked it.
I'm gonna go there one day. I've never made it there yet. That's on the bucket list right there.
And they're waiting for you. I went
I
there,
know. I've been there.
went
I know. We're gonna work it together.
through the turnstile. They said, "Where's JJ?" I said, "I don't know." So we've been waiting for years for him.
I'm gonna be fashionably late. It's gonna be worth it when I get there.
Oh, you got any other news? General
Yeah,
news?
we always talk about. We did one time we did a little thing on players on TV shows. Like Leo DeRocher on the Monsters and Drysdale and Koufax on the Brady Bunch. Well, I was watching Shifting Gears. That's Tim Allen's third, uh, sitcom, which they don't have many sitcoms anymore. And Mookie Betts was on there. He's got a garage. They're working on the garage, and Mookie Betts comes out, has a few lines, and there's one of the mechanics that's way too overboard on being a fan. And of course, Mookie's got the line, "Hey, I don't want this guy touching my car," And ha ha ha. So anyway, Mookie Betts had a little part on there. So I don't know if he's got to know he's got a podcast and doing things like that. So Mookie's getting a little older, and I don't know how much more time he's going to play. He's probably going to play 4 or 5 more years. That guy's just an outstanding player, but maybe starting to get and being out in LA, he can get some little parts and things like that. So anyway, Mookie Betts, I saw him on a TV show. I thought I'd mention that. And then at the end of last week, they named the Platinum Gold Glove winners, Platinum Glove winners, not Gold Glove, Platinum Glove winners. And one of our favorites, I know you've talked a lot about him, Bobby Witt Jr. for the American League got the Platinum Glove. What a guy! I thought that's who you're going to say. Jacob Wilson reminded you of was Bobby Witt Jr. But Bobby Witt Jr. is just I don't know. There's something about him. Even the way he slides and pops up, and he does everything with grace. And what a player! And I'm glad he's going to be with the Royals for a long, long time. And the other one was, and we talk about this guy too, Fernando Tatis Jr. His second Platinum Glove, and so anyway, congratulations to both of those men. Outstanding. Any thoughts on either one of those? I couldn't think of anybody who deserves it more than those two.
No. Uh, Great job by both of them. And would have liked to have seen PCA or Nico win it, but now I'm just getting selfish. So I knew Ian Happ wasn't going to win it. So
Well, we had the Silver Sluggers too. I don't think we talked about that last week. I know we did Gold Gloves, but the Silver Sluggers I think might have happened a little bit later. But of course, I didn't know about. There's a catcher from Colorado, Goodman. I didn't know much about him, to be honest with you. It was his first. A lot of players, it was their first Gold Glove. So I think we're kind of seeing a big turnover in Major League Baseball too. One day we ought to do a thing on the best under 25-year-old team or something like that. Do an all-star under 25 because there is a lot of good young talent in the league. Alonso from the Mets, Kenta Maeda, he got his first Gold Glove. Uh, Gerardo Perdomo got his first. Machado got his third. Soto got a sixth. Corbin Carroll got his first. Tucker of the Cubs got his second. And Otani got his fourth Silver Slugger. And the Cardinals, Burleson got one for utility player. That's kind of a new, they invented that one so the Cardinals could at least get an award, I think, right there. So
I,
we'll take it.
I don't know how Tucker won it. You
I don't either. I didn't
can
vote,
have
but I didn't really
you can
look
have a
real to.
fantastic half a season and really, really suck the second half and still win a Silver Slugger. I don't get that. All
Yeah,
right. But
yeah. His agent, he's got a good agent. And in the American League, Riley did win the Silver Slugger, which no surprise. Kurtz, the Rookie of the Year. Jazz Chisholm at second. Bobby Witt Jr. got his second. Jose Ramirez his sixth. And in the outfield, Buxton, Riley Green, and Aaron Judge got his fifth, and George Springer got his third. And Zach McKinstry got his first. And for teams, the Dodgers got the team Silver Slugger in the National League, and the Yankees in the American League. So that's kind of something that anyway, it's nice. I like to see the awards and players get recognized. And then two players, Vince, we've talked about these guys and we thought their careers were going to be over, but they officially announced their retirements. David Fletcher of the Angels retired, but he tried to come back as a knuckleball pitcher for the Atlanta Braves, and I applaud that. It didn't work out, so he went ahead and retired. And then the great Cub player who just the Cardinals couldn't beat, Kyle Hendricks, went and played for the Angels there. I think it came back. Did he come back and finish his career with the Cubs right at the very end?
No,
Did he
no,
sign? Oh, I thought he signed like a day contract and.
he may have. That's kind of ringing a bell.
But I did not know that he was in the top three candidates for the Cy Young in 2016, the year you guys won the World Series. He was in the top three Cy Young Award
Yeah.
nominees.
And I thought he should have won it. And the reason he didn't is, and this sounds so antiquated now, and this was just 9 years ago. The reason he didn't win it is because many of the voters said, well, he didn't even pitch 200 innings.
Oh, that was
He
still
pitched
a
like
thing then.
85 innings, and his ERA was like 2.1 something.
Oh,
He won the
man.
ERA title, 16 victories. I thought he should have won it. And their excuse was, well, I'm not going to vote for someone who doesn't pitch 200 innings. Well, then nobody gets a vote today because of.
That nobody gets 200 innings. Well, there's the Paul Skeens type of guys, and I admire them. I love watching the Roger Clemens and the Pedro Martinez and the Gibsons and the Fergie Jenkins and people like that. But I like the Cal Hendricks too. The guys that just change speeds and move it in and out. There's nothing more. I don't know. As a fan, when you see the other guy and he's just dominating you, and you're so frustrated because you're like, we should be hitting that. And he's just fooling everybody. The sequence is off, and he's pitching backwards and up and down and everything. Oh, that's just fun time baseball right there. And I really enjoy those guys that pitch. So even though he's gone, I'll always remember him. And I always wished he played for our team, but what a heck of a pitcher, Cal Hendricks was.
Yeah, very smart player. Very smart kid.
Very smart. Well, last thing I have on just general news is today is already November 11th. We're halfway through November already, it seems like. And I looked at birthdays, and today there is a guy. It was his birthday, Rabbit Maranaville. He's a Hall of Famer, played predominantly with the Boston Braves, played 19 years in the big leagues, and he was a Cub for 1 year and a Cardinal for two, 15 with the Boston Braves. And he was born in 1891, and he's one of the like early Hall of Fame guys. Passed away in 1954 at the age of 63. And I just wanted to give him a shout out because I looked him up and I knew very little about him. He was a second baseman, shortstop, but he played for both of our teams, and he's a Hall of Famer. And today would have been his birthday, so I thought I'd send a little respect out there and get his name out there. And maybe some of our listeners can go through there and the Wikipedia and look him up and learn a little bit, because I sure did just learning about him. So Vince, that's my general news right there.
He died in hunting season. He was shot. Someone was rabbit hunting.
Oh, poor rabbit. Oh, there he goes. We warned him.
What's going on with the Cardinals?
Well, the Cardinals, let's see. We have a catcher down in spring. Matter of fact, the Cardinals are top five prospects. Three of them are catchers. Plus, we got four catchers on our roster as of this minute. We've got a lot of catchers. But the top one is this kid down in Springfield. He's 21 years old. His name's Leonardo Bernal. And he was overall, he's the 92nd prospect in all of baseball. And he got the gold glove for catchers down in the minor leagues. So maybe good things are going to be coming. He's only 22 years old, or I'm sorry, 21 years old. So usually it takes catchers a few more years to get up here. And right now we have a lot of catchers. So maybe this winter we'll be moving some of our catchers for some prospects, because we do have a lot of catchers coming. Thursday, the Cardinals had a flurry of moves for our 40-man roster down in the minors. We ended up waiving Michael Ciani, who a lot of fans remember him. He came up like center field. Very good defensive outfielder. Nice arm. Can really play some good defense. He was just kind of a light hitter, though. And when we released him, the Braves have already claimed him. We also let Rodri Munoz, who we got in a trade. I forgot who we traded for him, but the Reds have already claimed him. So I hope that ain't one of the players that come back and bite the Cardinals. We've had a history of trading players or letting them go, and they come back and just, man, they put a whipping on us. So I hope that's not the case there. I wish them all the luck in the world, except against the Cardinals. And we outrighted Zach Thompson and Anthony Vinzano, both pitchers, and they're supposed to be going now to the minors, where they were like on our 40-man roster. We're putting them back down in the minors right now. And we added infield Brian Torres, and the Cardinals are opening spots for Burnell, the catcher, Joshua Baez, and pitcher down in Springfield. And all three of these were very big, important parts of the championship season the Springfield Cardinals had. So now they're going to be on the 40-man roster. So they're protecting those players right there, and we may see them sooner than later. Excited to see what happens there. The GM meetings have started in Las Vegas. So Chaim Bloom is down there with his inner circle, and they're mingling and talking. And I don't expect anything to happen because I think the GM meetings end Friday, but maybe they're going to set some groundwork up for some moves later. But anyway, they're down there just talking to all the GMs are talking with each other. And this is kind of the first signs of, the winter meetings, which will come up later. And maybe we'll see some big moves come out of that. And really, that's it right there. The Cardinals we're just kind of waiting to see what happens. I heard a lot of rumors about a lot of players, Lars Nootbaar and Sonny Gray and Arenado, but nothing official has happened yet.
Yeah. In Cub news, the Cubs won the Team Gold Glove Award. No surprise there.
I thought they would.
Um, Tucker and Imanaga have both received qualifying offers. So that's probably not going to deter any of the big boys who would sign Tucker. Imanaga, he could either accept a qualifying offer or he can go into free agency and we may sign him back. I don't know. I just know that the way that it was structured for us to pick up his option would have been 3 more years. And if we didn't pick up our option, he could pick up an option for 1 year. So it was advantageous for both of us to let him go into free agency. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's back. Tucker ain't coming back. He ain't coming back.
400 million. There a lot of people are saying that's a
Yeah,
lot of money.
I can see where a team would do that. He's not Juan Soto.
Yeah.
He, yeah, the last 2 years he's battled injuries and also defensively, I I was greatly disappointed. And boy, second half when he goes into a slump, he is bad. So I just like that. He's not Juan Soto. Let him go. I would have paid the money for Juan Soto.
Yeah.
I had the Yankee jersey with Soto on it, trying to positive vibe. So, um, Justin Steele has started his throwing program, so that's good, and he's shooting for early in the season.
Right.
So we will see if that happens or not. Owen Casey, the last week of the season, in a collision with the Ivy that has bricks behind it, he was on. He had a concussion, and that's why he wasn't on the playoff roster. Um, but it's come out that he has no concussion symptoms, so he's back on his off-season program, which is good. Justin Turner, the Cubs had a 1 year option of 10 million, and they declined that. And Justin Turner, for a guy who was supposed to be right-handed pop, platooning at first base and pinch hitting, he had 3 home runs the whole year. So, and he had a lot of base hits were just like ground balls in the hole, and he hit in the low 200s. Sorry, Justin, great guy.
Yeah.
Maybe time to retire. The most exciting news this week for the Cubs, and it's not going to matter a hill of beans to people who are not Cub fans, but Colin Ray has re-upped with the team for 1 more year. Colin Ray was supposed to be a swingman, a spot starter, long relief, and due to injury, he was put in the rotation, and he did fantastic. So I'm glad that we re-upped him for another year. Speaking of re-upping, we got to re-up someone for another year. You know who we need to re-up?
Jeremy Connor? We got to re-up him?
We're going to
All
re-up
right.
him for another year, okay?
All right. Jeremy Connor for another year.
Comes a time in every man's life when he needs some advice on relationships. You need to listen to the podcast DMDR, which stands for Dating, Marriage, Divorce, Remarriage, from my good friend Jeremy Connor, the Dr. Phil of the Boot Hill. You can find DMDR on Spotify or whatever platform you choose to listen to your podcast. Okay, we are going to look at the top 5 free agents at position, ranking by their WAR. So, um, if you are the sixth best WAR as far as a second baseman, and there's a pretty big gap, so it's not like I'm leaving great people off. But we're just going to kind of go over these players and talk about if we see value in them, if this is um, possible signing for veteran leadership or something, or maybe some flat out pop. Some of these players are still in their prime. So, but we're going to start with catcher. Um, the top catcher, as far as WAR goes, it's a free agent, is JT Realmuto. Do you know how old he is?
I would think he's older, but I probably 33, 34, somewhere in there.
35.
I didn't know that.
I
Seems like
thought,
he's been around forever.
yeah, but I thought he was like early 30s because I thought he started really early. Um, but he's 35. And I don't know what the market is for a 35-year-old catcher, but he was still productive,
Yeah.
highest WAR, with for the catchers, and he had some injury this year. What do you think about JT Realmuto? Not just, what kind of a team do you think would be looking for him?
Well, he's probably going to make pretty good money, so I can't see any of the Mariner, a team like the Florida Marlins or Cleveland could use a good leader or something like that. I just can't see them spending that kind of money. Probably somebody that's just about ready to jump to the next level. And every team needs two catchers, just like you said, because there's injuries. But I do think his best days are behind him. Um, so maybe you could get him for a couple of years, guaranteed years at a lower rate or something like that, and have him come in. I could see Philadelphia wanting him to stay there because that city likes him, the team likes him. But it is a business, and if they have anybody, they may want to move on. So I think you've got a lot of value. Probably 2/3 of the teams could use a player like that. I don't know if they want to pay that kind of money for a guy 35.
I would think it, if I was in the market for a catcher, if I was a team that was maybe on the verge uh, and needed a veteran catcher, I would go 2 years, maybe 35, 36 million for him. I think that's a
Yeah,
he's not in his prime, but he's still a
really good player.
viable threat in the lineup, and he's a good catcher. So I think he's going to get a short contract somewhere high teens, low 20s per season. That's
Now,
kind of
what about the Cubs? I mean, you guys are about a team that's, I think you're almost right there. You're catching, you got, I think, some surprise success out of those guys. I don't know if you knew Casey would be as good as he was, or you got to kind of stick with those folks, you think, this year?
you mean Kelly?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely sticking with Kelly. Amaya was hurt all year, and he was going to be our
Oh,
primary catcher, so he's going to be back.
okay.
Um,
Yeah.
and then our top prospect is Moises Ballesteros, who's also a catcher.
Oh, okay.
Now, he caught, I think, 1 inning the entire year for the Cubs. His defensive game definitely is not ready. So yeah, there's a lot of people who are clamoring that he should be on the roster. just for his bat as a DH, and then put Seiya in the outfield, which I could see that happening. Um, but I don't think we're in the market for another catcher. I
Okay.
Kelly was a Gold Glove finalist too, so yeah,
What a year that guy had.
yeah.
Yeah.
Second and third on the list are Victor Carantini, who's 32, and Danny Jansen, who's 31. Of those two, I like Caratini. He was with the Cubs for a few years and went to the Brewers, went to the Padres, and he is just a solid catcher. And at his age, I could see maybe 3 years for about 45, 50 million. Um, Maybe a little lower than that, actually. Jansen would definitely be lower than that.
Oh yeah.
But they're a little younger than Realmuto. These are guys who would not be primary catchers. They would be like not necessarily backup catchers, like if like a 60-40 split. They'd be the guys who would probably do about 40% of the catching. Uh, Christian Vasquez is number four on that list. He's 35, and James McCann is number five. He's 36.
Yeah.
And if I was a GM and I was looking for a catcher, Carantini and Jansen would be kind of my sweet spot.
I, I'm with you. Jansen was with Toronto for a while, and he got a lot of starts, but he was never the 80% catcher guy. He was always like a 50%, 40% guy. And then Kirk kind of made himself the man up there, and Jansen's playing time got less and less. But a team that just needs a good guy that fills in, I could see Detroit or something. I know they got Dylan, can't think of his last name, but anyway, he would be a perfect fit for a team like that. And he's a pretty good defensive catcher, and I think you could get him for not a whole heck of a lot of money too. So he's a good professional veteran catcher. I'd take him on my team, but unfortunately, the Cardinals have like 9 catchers right now. That's not where we have a need for any of them right now.
Uh, First base, the top five free agents are Alonso,
Oh,
he's 31,
uh-huh.
Josh Naylor, who is 29, Ryan O'Hearn, who I really like, who is 32, who does a lot of DHing too. Carlos Santana is 40, had a few weeks with the Cubs this year. And number five on this list is Luis Ariza. He's 29. We all know that Alonso is going to get paid by somebody.
Oh yeah.
Um, Josh Naylor is going to get paid by somebody, but not like Alonso money.
Right.
I really like Ryan O'Hearn.
That's your
Um,
fella.
that's who I've liked him when he played for the Royals. I've liked him with Baltimore. Um, he's if he goes to the wrong stadium, he may have some trouble. He's not a good fit for Wrigley Field. Great fit for Baltimore, where the ball flies out a bit. But I really like what Ryan O'Hearn brings to the table, just a professional hitter. And he's going to cost you a lot less than Alonso and Josh Naylor. Santana, I saw he, he's 40.
Yeah.
He's he may latch on somewhere for a little bit of money, but he's definitely not a starter anymore. And then there's Luisa Rise, who is always going to be a threat to win a batting title, no matter
Yes.
what team he's playing for, no matter what league he's in. But you're not going to get much power, and you're going to get very little defense. Um, and he's going to hit into a lot of double plays, but he's going to put the bat on the ball. I think Arise is someone who is intriguing. Of those five, are there any that you think would be a, a, a good fit for Cardinals or another team?
Well, they don't say the word, but we are rebuilding. And I don't think they'd want to spend the money on those top 3 guys. Although I love Naylor. Naylor's a guy, my gosh, if you had like a lot of teams have good 3 or 4 hitters, but if you had a Naylor to your team, that just stretches that lineup out. I just love how he takes it bat. He's a leader. Seems like everywhere he goes, he's a leader on that team. It just seems like Seattle's a perfect place for him, unless they have somebody they'd rather have, or they're going to go after Alonso. Alonso is the cream of the crop. Let's be honest. But a
Yeah.
Rise would be a great guy. Remember, Vince, when there was 26 guys on the roster, and there was always a Rusty Staub or a Steve Braun or one of those guys. A Rise would be great. You could put him almost anywhere, or could bring him up late in the game, or and if you needed a hit, you got a guy on the bench that can do it. Now I don't. I still think he thinks he's a starter and a great. I'm going to be out there all the time, but that guy could get a job somewhere, and it may be back with Florida or a team like that. But man, a Rise would be a great utility man, and really, I like him because the bat off the bench, that extra guy, a DH. He's not got no power, like you said. If you've got a powerful team that strikes out a lot, have a Rise in there, and he'll be a nice, refreshing piece in the middle right there, or something like that. But I can see a team. Well, the Dodgers have all the money in the world, but they have people that can play a bunch of different positions. But a team like that have a lot of money and could spend on a guy that's kind of just one dimensional, I could see a team like that. Maybe the Mets. I could see the Mets getting a guy like a Rise or something like that.
I can see the Reds getting a rise.
Oh, wow. That's a hitter's park too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Colorado. Oh, he'd be great for Colorado with that big outfield out there. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Major League Baseball teams. So
Okay. All right. Not the AAA teams. Okay.
top five free agents for WAR for second base is number one, Gleyber Torres at 29. Number two, Willie Castro at 29, who finished the year with the Cubs. God knows why. Um, Jorge Polanco, who was 32. Jose Iglesias, who was 36. And Dylan Moore, 33. Honestly, none of them capture my fancies.
Yeah. With us, we're looking for JJ Weatherhold a place to play. I wish them all well. I know finding a job can be hard in the major leagues, but yeah, none of them really grab me or anything like that. I can't see the Cardinals having any use for any of those guys.
No, uh, Torres, Castro, Polanco, they will be picked up by bottom feeders. I think they'll get jobs. But yeah, you're gonna look at your Rockies, your Pirates, your White Sox. They're gonna pick up players like that.
You're right, the White Sox.
So, uh, top five shortstops, free agents: Miguel Rojas, who is 37. Gosh, man, time flies.
Wow. Time has flown.
Um, number two, as far as war, is Bo Bichette, but he was hurt. So I think Mel Rojas beat him like by a percentage point. So Bichette's definitely the better player of the two. Uh, Ha-Seong Kim is 30. Isaiah Kiner Falefa is 31. And George Mateo is 31. Um, of course, I would love to have Bo Bichette. And I think a lot of teams are going to want to have Bo Bichette. And I actually think he's going to get one of the bigger contracts this year. Um, and of the rest of those, I really like Isaiah Kiner Falefa. I he plays hard. He's not a star, but he gets the job done. And so for a team that's not needing a huge bat but needs some defensive help, I could see uh, a team like Baltimore, uh, using him maybe to play as a
Utility kind of guy.
ability infielder. Yeah. I just like what he brings to the table. And he seems to play good in bigger situations. So what do you think of those five?
You're right. Isaiah, uh, I can't say his last name, but he started out the year with the Pirates, and then he ended up with was it Toronto he was with at the end?
I think it was Toronto.
Yeah, I remember him with Texas when he came up, and they went and got Corey Seager and Marcus Simeon, and there was really no place for him. They put him at third, but then that young kid came up, and you're like, well. where's he going to play? So they ended up trading him. But everywhere he goes, it seems like he fits in. He does a good job. Whatever's asked of him, I could see him going back to Pittsburgh. Or again, we have Wynn, and we have a lot of a young Sajasi at short, and I like both of those players. So we really don't have a fit for him here. But I could see, you know, what do you think about the Yankees? They've had a kind of a weird relationship with that Volpe kid, who at times looks like he might be an all-star, and but then he leads the league in errors and things like that. Where a player like that they could put in there, work with them, and maybe take some of the pressure off of him or something like that. I could see him even ending up somewhere up there.
I think the Yankees are going to be a major player for Bo Bichette.
He'd be a good man. He would be a good fit for him. And I tell you what, Vince, if he hadn't got hurt the last 2 years, he probably could have got big, big money. But he's going to get a nice contract in a lot of years. But I still think he's got a lot left in the tank.
Yeah. And, I could see the Cubs making a serious bid for Bo Bichette because of his age. And then Matt Shaw, um, yeah, giving up on him, but
Yeah,
yeah, using him for trade. Um,
yeah.
I could see that. Third baseman, the top five third basemen are Alex Bregman, who is 32, Eugenio Suarez, who is 34, Paul DeYoung, 32, Jan Mancada, who's 31, and Luis Urias, who is 29. The only one that I would be interested in is Bregman.
Well, Soros beat us pretty bad this year. He beat you guys and us. He, we need to get him over in the American League or not on our schedules. Yeah, Bergman. Actually, Bergman. The story was that we thought Arenado was going to go to the Red Sox, and at the last minute, we thought Bergman was going to Detroit, who desperately needs a third baseman. And anyway, at the last minute, he went to Boston, and then Cardinal stayed with us. So, yeah, Bergman a fit in anywhere. He's an upgrade from anybody out there. I think he's one of the best, still one of the best third basemen. He's still in his early 30s. Probably have 4 or 5 really good years left. The young, I didn't know he was that young. I thought he was a lot older. But it seems like he
His
catches
name's
on
not
with
Paul
somebody,
DeOld.
huh?
His
But
name's not Paul DeOld.
he's not Paul the Old, but I thought he was Paul the Older than what he is.
He's like Rod Stewart saying he's forever DeYoung.
The young. Yeah. So yeah, Bergman, oh, it'd be nice to have him on your team or something like that. Cardinals just aren't going to spend, but he'll find someone that wants him. And Detroit needs a third baseman, so either him or Suarez would be a good upgrade for them. I'm just
I,
thinking of somewhere they could land.
I could see the Cubs going for Bregman.
Oh,
They were in it until the last minute last year when Boston swooped in. Suarez is 34, coming off a huge year.
yeah.
What are you going to pay him? 55 million for 2 years, and I don't trust his slumps. I mean, he'll be red hot for a while. We've got Dansby Swanson. We got someone like that now. Dansby doesn't have 45 home runs, but yeah, Dansby, you'll go on a 2 week stretch. You think, gosh, this is the best hitter in baseball. And for the next 4 weeks, you're thinking, what's wrong with this guy? But at least he always plays defense. And Suarez,
Always.
not the best defender in the world.
If you got Bergman and Swanson on your left side, my gosh, that would be just there ain't nothing getting through over on that side. Oh, look at you smiling.
Yeah, I could go for that. Top four left fielders: Rob Ryan Snyder is 35. Miguel Andujar is 31, which I did not know that Ryan, whatever. I didn't know he was that old, and I didn't realize that Andujar was only 31 because it seems like Miguel Andujar has been around forever.
Yeah.
Um, Number three is Austin Hayes. Number four, Jesse Winker. Austin Hayes is 30. Jesse Winker is 32. And number five is Michael Conforto. Um, I'll tell you the truth. Um, if I was looking for a a left fielder I would have no interest in one of these five free agents. I would do a trade. If I was looking for a fourth outfielder, I would be very interested in Jesse Winker.
Jesse Winker. I saw Austin Hayes play. I remember when he was with the Orioles, and he always reminded me of that guy that'd been around a while and went to San Francisco. And his name was Hunter. What was his last name? But he hustle. He chopped the ball like do the Baltimore chop and just run it out at first base. And he was just a very he'd give you everything he had. And Austin Hayes, I really like that kid. He'd be a good fourth outfielder on almost any team. But again, the Cardinals have so many young players. It seems like catcher and outfield, we have a lot of players we need to find out if they can play every day. So it won't be St. Louis, but yeah, there's some talent there. And Winker is very, very good, although he's moved around a little bit. Um, I don't. I always wonder if maybe they didn't get along, or but maybe it's because always every team needs a talent, so that's maybe why he's moved around. So anyway, he's been in the league a while, and he always seems to have success wherever he plays.
Yeah, I kind of like him for a fourth outfielder at this stage of his career.
Yeah,
Oh, center field. Of course, the big prize is Cody Bellinger, age 30. Guess who had the second highest WAR for center fielders in baseball this year that's a free agent?
I have no clue.
Former Cardinal.
Former Cardinal center fielder. Oh, Harrison Bader.
Harrison Bader has the second highest WAR for free agent center fielders. Bader's 32, and I didn't realize he was that old. I
Me
thought he
neither.
was maybe 28, 29. Trent Grisham, 29. And I like Trent Grisham, but I don't think he fits with the Cubs because he's a low average, high strikeout, high power guy. We've got enough of them. I think he would fit on a team that needs someone who could bat down the orders, seventh, maybe who can hit his 25, 30 home runs, but not have much of a batting average. Just a thumper towards the end of the lineup to keep the pitching staff, the pitching competition honest. Cedric Mullins seems to be on the downside of his career. He's had a very good career. Maybe he's only 31, maybe bounce back. I don't know. And Garrett Hampson is 31. Um, what do you think of
Well, Cedric Mullins, not only a few years ago, was a 30-30 man, and he's the
yeah,
only 30-30 man in the Baltimore Oriole history, which seems surprising to me. They've had so much talent over there, but he's the only 30-30 guy they've ever had. Um, I think somebody take a shot at him. If you need something in the outfield, he'd be worth taking a shot. He's like you said, he's only 31 years old. For the Cardinals, a lot of people are going to think I'm crazy here, but I don't think Victor Scott hits well enough to be a major league outfielder. I think his defense is fine. He's very good out. He's very good at running the bases and stealing bases. But I think Harrison Bader would be somebody I would like to see the Cardinals re-sign him. We're left-handed heavy. He can come in. He still plays a very good outfield, and this is probably the best offensive year he's ever had. I would like to. I think, and the Cardinal fans love him, especially the ladies, which makes me hate him, Vince. The ladies love Harrison Bader. It's
I
been a
hate
fact.
him.
Yeah, we hate him, but he is a very good player, and I think he'd fit our team perfect for what we're trying to do. And he'd be a big upgrade from Victor Scott batting and give him. He wouldn't be a full time player, but Bader would get more playing time probably than he did in Philadelphia and Minnesota where he was last year. So
Maybe that would be good for Victor Scott, someone to kind of push him.
I would think so too. And was a good teammate. So I think it'd be a win-win for everybody right there if we had kind of a homecoming for Harrison Bader right there.
Free agent right fielders, of course, Tucker, who's 29. Second is grandbaby Yaz, Mike
Oh,
Yastrzemski. He's 35 freaking years old.
I would have never thought that. Doesn't seem like he's playing up
Either
that long.
I thought late 20s. Uh, but I love his game.
Yeah.
And I was so shocked when the Giants traded him at the deadline because he just seems like he's been a part of that team for a few years. Never the star, but always someone who is there, uh, makes the right plays. and he seems to come up with big spots.
He does. Yeah.
Um, Maybe that's his grandpa coming out in him, but I was very surprised. I have a friend who's a huge Giants fan, and when he got traded, I asked her. I said I was shocked. She said, "Yeah, me too. I love the guy." Um, so I would not be surprised if he goes back to San Francisco.
Be perfect fit.
Um, but if I think another good fit for him would be like the Yankees, a team that's looking for, maybe a fourth outfielder, someone with a lot of experience who could also come off the bench.
They do like the veterans. That's true. That's
Yeah.
a good call.
Yeah. Uh, Number three is Max Kepler, who's 33. Number four is Starling Marte, who is 72, 37, excuse me. And number five at 34 years old, still producing, Randall Grishik. So
Yeah.
those are your top five center field free agents by WAR. And of course, everybody is going to be interested in Tucker. How many are going to be going 10 years, 400 million? I don't know. There's going to be a couple. It's going to be the regular gang of idiots who go after him. Kind of money. Um, but I've always liked Randall Grishik as a fourth outfielder, and I like Mikey Stremski as a fourth outfielder at this stage of their careers.
Sentimentally, it'd be great to see Yaz go back to Boston. I mean, he's never been there, but his grandfather was there. That'd be nice, but it seems like Boston has so many good young outfielders. But all five of those guys you mentioned will all be in the big league somewhere. They're
Oh yeah,
all way too much production. Every team from shoot the Reds, the Pirates, all those teams need, and Colorado. You could just they could take the fourth guy you just named on every one of those lists and make a better team than they had this year. So we'll see them up in the big league somewhere. I have no clue where they're going to end up, and that's the fun of this, Vince. Well, we never know where these guys are going to end up, and as teams. I mean, even Chicago, you guys are going to come up with somebody you didn't even see coming, and you'll be like, "Oh, this is good. That's interesting, for good or worse." It'll be interesting. So it's gonna be fun this winter seeing all these teams putting their rosters together for the spring. I'm excited.
there's only four players who primarily play DH that are free agents.
Okay.
Of course, the big one is Kyle Schwarber, who just turned 33,
Ooh.
and I think the Cubs are going to make a strong run at him. The fans love him. He's very productive. It doesn't matter if the wind's blowing in. He hits the ball so hard, he hits it a mile, and he is just getting better with age. Uh, I expect Philadelphia to be the number one suitor, and I'm not going to be surprised if he goes back there, but he is going to be on the market. So I really love him. We could put him at DH, and then we can put Suzuki in right field, and we can use Ballesteros as kind of the uh, Swiss Army knife guy.
Yeah.
Play him where you can, not get much defense, but boy, get the bat on the ball and hit. That's what he does. Second is Marcelo Zuna, who's 35. I have no interest in him. Andrew McCutchen is 39. I would love to have him on my team. Um, so I don't know if he's going to catch on with like a team who could use his veteran leadership. I thought he has filled the role very nicely with the Pirates.
Yes.
Um, but I could see an upstart team like the Marlins, young team like that. That I'm not talking about the Rockies. I'm talking about a team that seems to be going somewhere. uh, a little bit of talent. I could see him landing in a place like that. And number four is Eloy Jimenez, who's 29, and I would give 10 cents for him.
Yeah, I don't know where Tucker's going to end up this year. I don't know. Maybe if they don't get if Schwarber goes to Chicago, Tucker that might go to Philadelphia. Who knows? Uh, that hitting lineup is something else. But I would like to see McCutchen if he wants to play another year. I hope he stays in Pittsburgh. That's just a perfect fit, and I always think of him as a Pirate anyway. But you got to make a living where you can, and I'm just thinking of all the teams out there, and shoot, he probably could end up with the California Angels. It seems like they always are love the veterans and they make some peculiar moves. And I don't know even know what they got on their team right now, but for what they usually get, he'd be perfect for that team. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. Cardinals don't have really a use for DH. We got too many DHs right now. We got catchers we're putting at DH. So yeah, but good luck to all those guys. I hope they get jobs and continue their careers.
Starting pitching, the top five are Dylan Cease, who is 30, Framber Valdez, who is 32, who I would not sign on my team after nailing his catcher. That
Right.
was really a jerk move.
Oh yes.
Ranger Suarez, who is 30, Nick Martinez, 35, and Chris Bassett, 37. I expect the Cubs to go all in on Dylan Cease. I know his ERA was high, but his strikeout rate was still excellent. Um, I just think he is a tremendous pitcher, and I think he's got probably 3 to 5 pretty good years still left in him. So I wouldn't even mind the Cubs going 5 years on him with a contract. But I think he's the best of this bunch. And Valdez, I think, would have got big money, and he still might, but he really hurt himself by uh, crossing up his catcher on purpose. Ranger Suarez, he can help any team. He
Yeah.
is he's that third starter who sometimes can pitch like a top of the rotation guy, but he's more or less a third starter. And I wouldn't mind seeing the Cubs get him as a backup plan if Cease doesn't work out. Nick Martinez and Chris Bassett, they're too old for my blood. 35 and 37. That's old for a pitcher.
Yeah. I there's rumors going around that Valdez and with the Cardinals, something with Cardinals and Valdez. Vince, I wouldn't want that. Maybe if we had Yachty and Wilson Contreras
Could you
standing
imagine if
next.
he did that to Yachty?
Oh
Yachty go out there and
Lord, there'd be a
butt all
riot.
around.
I don't think anybody run out of the dugout either. Yeah, Yachty can handle it, and Wilson Contreras wouldn't put up with that either. Either one of
No,
those
no,
guys.
man.
My goodness, and they wouldn't. And I don't know if he would try that with any of those guys. Um, Cease, I think the Cubs are going to be one of the three finalists for him. Whatever he wants, I mean, he's outstanding, but he's got ties with the Cubbies. Came up through your organization, and am I right on that? He came up through the
Yes,
Cubs. Okay,
yes.
so I think he always. I think the players just have a special place in their heart. If everything's equal, they know what's there. They probably knows a lot of the players there and everything. And he's played in Chicago, or was he a White Sox too? Was he the White
Yeah,
Sox
we
guy?
we traded him and Eloy Jimenez to the White Sox for Quintana.
Oh, that was a while back. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he
And,
was in his early 20s when we did that. And then
oh yeah. But
we the Cubs at that time projected him to be a reliever. They didn't project him to be a starter. He goes to the Sox and becomes a great starter. And
yes,
Jimenez started out great with the White Sox too. And then he decided, you know what? I only want to play about 50 games a year.
yeah. Well,
I don't
he
want to
he.
stay in
So if he
shape.
likes Chicago, it'd be a perfect place for him. I do think you guys are going to be one of the final three candidates, but you got the Dodgers or one of those big, like you said, the band of idiots up there that'll just spend all the money in the world are the Mets. They seem to have more money than anybody, and he could end up there if that's what the final thing he really wants. But seems like he's got a good home there in Chicago. I want to see him in a Cub? No, you already got enough pitching as it is. And that would just be like good night. Look at that pitching staff. But the Cardinals really, I think what we would get is somebody like a John Smiley or a Tapani or somebody like that, like a Jeff Suppan, a guy who's probably like a third starter, who's a veteran, and
Ranger
one.
Suarez, I think, would be a great fit on your
Yeah,
staff.
but he's kind of too good for us. He had a really good year, didn't he,
Or
last
he,
year?
yeah,
Yeah.
he would be a great second starter for you guys, second or third starter. You've got um, Gray,
Yeah.
then McGreevy. Everybody's high on him.
Yeah, we like his stuff so far. Yeah.
Suarez would be a good fit there, and you got to kind of consider the Gray looked like he was running out of gas the last few months of the season, so
Yes, he
age may be catching up with him. I just think Ranger Suarez, it's not a ton of money, of course, it's not our money, but
right.
at his age, um, I could see the Cubs going, 3 years, 65 million. I think that would be within their budget, within their range. And you're going to need someone to eat up innings with such a young staff. Miles
True.
Michaelis, bad
No,
pitcher last year, but he was eating up innings
he was.
until he played the Cubs, and we knock him out in the first
My,
inning.
I know that was brutal. I was like, oh no. And then I think he
I,
pitched against them later, and he did. You guys rocked him pretty good again the next time.
I love the second time we played, and he was going to pitch. I thought we're going to kill him again. We did.
And Miles had a nice career here. I love him, but I just think it
I think he's a nice guy. I think he's a funny guy. I have nothing against him personally, except when he's playing the Cubs. I wanted the Cubs to rock him, and they did.
oh yeah, you guys would get bonuses. You met your bonuses when you faced Michaelis this year. You got all your hits and home runs and everything. Your OPS
He,
went up.
he had a pretty good first half, and he had changed his pitching style. He's pitching backwards, so they weren't seeing the same Miles Michaelis they'd seen the past 5, 6 years. But when they caught up with that, oh, he's just pitching backwards. So go up there looking for the curveball early. He started getting lit up. Poor guy.
He
Poor
sure
guy.
did. Yeah. So thank you, Miles, for the years. But yeah, but if we got Rachel Suarez, I'd be very happy with the young pitchers we have. And if Sonny Gray's here or not, I got a feeling he probably will be. Then I'll be fine with that. And see some of these guys coming. We got a lot of young pitchers. I think it's going to have a chance to come in and earn jobs this spring. And we might go for a bullpen guy or two. You can always piece together a bullpen though.
Yeah.
See what happens there. So yeah, Ranger Suarez, if we get him, I'd be ecstatic.
Speaking of bullpens, the relief pitcher, top five free agents, according to WAR, is Diaz, who is 32, Robert Suarez, who is 35, Raisel Iglesias, who is 36. Raisel Iglesias is the son of Julio Iglesias, to all the girls I've loved before. No, I don't know.
Oh, you had me. I said, really? I didn't know that.
That's a great song, great duet.
Oh yes.
He and Willie Nelson. To all the girls I've loved before, and traveling in and out our door. um, Ryan Helsley at age 31 is number four, and number five at age 31 is Devin Williams. And you're going to say I'm nuts. The only one I would be interested in is Helsley.
Really?
I know he had a bad season, particularly when he went to the Mets, but he still throws gas. And I could see him being a sixth or seventh inning guy to come in, when you got that fourth or fifth starter who's only going to go 5 innings and can just mow down an inning. Get him out of the high leverage roles, and I think he's going to be just fine. So Ryan Helsley is someone I would really be interested in, but I would take him out of that closer role and I would put him in that sixth, seventh inning role, and where he's maybe facing um, the bottom of the lineup, and he can just come in and blow them away. I
You're
I,
right.
I think if you take him out of the closer role, there is a role for him on just about any team that would be productive.
Oh yeah. He had that one great year with us, and he always had moments of greatness. But we found out he doesn't like to pitch back-to-back days. We kind of babied him. We only used him when we absolutely had to use him. And I think the whole idea was to trade him at the trading deadline,
Yeah.
and we did pretty good. And the Mets, I also think I don't know if he could play at a place like New York or Philadelphia. Chicago probably be a good place, or St. Louis, or somewhere in the Midwest would probably fit him better. He's a Texas kid. But yeah, anybody who can throw 103 miles an hour and has a changeup like that, my gosh. he'll get a job somewhere, and I think you could, at this point you probably get a pretty good deal for him too. The other pitchers you named were kind of up there in the years a little bit.
Yeah.
36 years old, you just never know. Uh, the kid
Devin
from
Williams,
the Mets,
31,
yeah. Well, he
but
had some injuries too, right? The kid from the Mets that went over, Diaz, was it?
yeah,
He's had some injuries the last couple of years
yeah,
too.
he's 32. Great walk-up music though.
Oh, great, that trumpet. Yeah,
Yeah. Devin Williams, it, I like him. Um, his out pitch is a screwball. I don't know. They call it something else, but it's basically a screwball. That's his out pitch. And I screwball pitchers have the advantage of there's just not very many of them. So it looks strange. And we talked about this last week when we were talking about Fernando Valenzuela. You see it enough, you experience this enough, you can catch up with it because you got the funky reverse break on it, but generally it's not a sharp break, and generally it's not coming in that hard because it's very hard to get speed and torque when you're having to do such an unnatural thing with the curveball. That's
yeah,
pretty natural. With the screwball, that's not natural. So I think when your primary out pitch is a screwball, you, you people can catch up with that. And people, well, Marichal, he threw a screwball. Marichal had about six pitches.
yeah,
His screwball wasn't his out pitch. Whatever pitch he wanted to be his out pitch was his out pitch. Um, and Devin Williams basically fastball screwball. So I think Helsley, if you put him in the right role, would be more productive at this stage of his career at 31 than Devin Williams is at this stage of his career. Now watch Helsley end up playing for 3 weeks and getting sent down to single A, and Devin Williams winning the Cy Young Award.
now Devin Williams is from St. Louis area, and maybe you could get a bargain for him. If he pitched the way he did in Milwaukee, I'd love to have him on our team. But you're right. I mean, any of these chances, it seems like so many relievers don't last too long. Very seldom does a reliever have like 3 good years in a row. You might have a guy have an outstanding year, and then they kind of count him back to the medium, and they bounce back and forth, or some of them just drop off. Bobby Thigpen, my gosh, he had a couple of great years, and then he just kind of, I think, overused or something, and he was never the same after that. Very few are like Hoffman and Rivera, those type of people, or Eckersley or Suter or any of those guys. So, I don't know. That's it seems like you can always just piece together a bullpen, and if you can
Yeah.
throw, and nowadays most guys can throw 98 to 100 miles an hour, so you could find a reliever in there somewhere, or the closer.
Devin Williams, he kind of reminds me of Matt Keogh, who did pitch at the end of his career with the Cardinals. Screwball pitcher, had a couple of really good years, was an all-star once with the Athletics, and then they caught up with it, and he had trouble from then on out. Didn't Ribosky throw a screwball every now and then?
I don't know. I honestly don't. I don't remember him throwing a screwball, to be honest with you. He
I
just
don't
can't.
either, but for some reason it's come in my mind that every now and then he would throw a screwball.
He might have, but I don't remember that
Or
as
maybe
much.
he was a screwball. I don't
Well,
know.
now that's true. He he was, but I loved him. It's something else.
Um, yeah. So anyway, that's the list of the top five free agents and positions, and it's going to be fascinating to see how this unfolds during the year. And remember, by next week, have your top three free agents, uh, the how much money they're going to make, and if you parlay them, you're probably going to win. And our prize is going to be 2 tickets to a game of your choice. So
Your tickets to paradise. Yeah.
2 tickets to paradise. So we need the top three free agents, and we also need what you think the total amount of their contracts are going to be.
I know a couple people that's trying to figure it out right now. They've got all the names and they're trying to figure it out. So we'll get I know we'll have a couple more next week.
Well, I think that the top free agent is going to be James McCann. Uh,
Ooh, do you now?
600 million for 2 years.
Wow.
Um, uh, Probably Razel Iglesias at 36 is going to get 1 year, 400 million. So,
His dad comes in with the deal. You get Julio Iglesias as well.
oh, and I'm sorry I sneezed a few times during this.
No, no, it's my cologne. I think it's
No,
allergenic.
I have been on the saw all day long. I've been on the
Oh,
table saw, and I've also been on the planer, and there's a lot of sawdust, and it's it just goes
oh yeah.
it's everywhere for me. So
We've had
JJ,
crazy weather too. A lot of the folks that aren't around here, but Missouri, we were sitting there at 70 degrees and then we shot down to 35 or 40 or something like that. We're going to shoot back up.
this morning I got up early. I had an order at Lowe's. I had to go pick it up. I picked it up like at 6:30, and then I came home, and my table saw is outside because I don't have enough room in the wood shop for everything. So I have to saw outside, and I mean I'm bundled up. It is freezing, and you have to really pay attention when you're sawing, but when you're cold, it's hard to pay attention. I nicked my thumb on the
Oh, I'm
blade
sorry.
barely,
Uh,
like but I'm doing some little pieces and I concentrate then. But anyway, so I mean I was on the saw and the planer all day long, and then I don't know about 1 or 1:30, suddenly I realized, man, I am sweating. Man, I am sweating. Why am I sweating? And I have a thermometer outside. Oh my gosh, it's 54 degrees now.
oh, we got up to 54 today. Oh, okay.
Gosh, I mean, the wind was still whipping, so it felt a little colder, but oh, no wonder I'm
No
sweating.
wonder you're sweating.
So I
Yeah.
lost some weight today.
Hey, all right.
I've got 1990 Fleer.
1990. I have 1988, the big baseball cards with sort of that cartoon on the back of each player.
All right,
The
you go first.
uh,
1988. What were you doing in 1988?
1980. Oh, I was in the Navy. I went in the Navy April of 87. I was probably uh, in, there is a little section, if you got a globe, where it's Honduras, El Salvador, and another country there. And we would just go up and down on that area. And I'm really not supposed to say what we were doing, but I spent a year at sea and I don't know. It was probably the best thing for me. I was a troubled kid and I saved some money and just basically got a real good tan out there working outside. I'm a gunner's mate, so we were outside working on the 50 cals and the 40 millimeters and things like that on the gun mounts and everything. So I was brown after that year out in the sun. But so 1988, that's what I was doing. All right, here are the cards. These big picture cards. A Toronto Blue Jay, Jim Clancy. Do you remember that
Oh,
guy?
very good picture. Yes.
Yeah, Clancy had a nice career. And again, on the back is a cartoon that tells you a little bit about him right there. Um, oh, a Cardinal, Larry McWilliams. Now,
Former
I think of
Brave.
him more as a Atlanta Brave player.
Yeah.
McWilliams right there. One of the things was he likes to travel and he went to Paris. So how about that, Larry McWilliams? He's been to Paris. Uh, Greg Matthews. You remember that name?
Yes.
I remember Matthews and another rookie. I'm trying to think of the name. There was a big double hitter one September, and we were in Montreal, the Cardinals, and he pitched one end of the double hitter. And I think Ricky Horton pitched the other, and the Cardinals won both games. Really good games, like 5-3 and something like that. But really good games with the young pitchers came through that year for
Yeah.
the
Matthews.
Cardinals.
Matthews had his moments.
He sure did. Sure did. All right. I do not remember this guy so much. Baltimore Oriole, Rene Gonzalez. Oh,
Don't
Those
remember him.
Oriole uniforms are classic, and the hats they don't change. I like that about them. Oh, well, I remember this guy by a different name. It's Guillermo Hernandez, but when 84 Tigers, he was Willie Hernandez.
Yes.
Yes, right there he
Former
is.
Cub.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was an MVP, a Cy Young. Had a heck of a year that year. Texas Ranger, Pete O'Brien.
No,
I remember him
decent
with,
first baseman.
yeah, Seattle Mariners. I think
Yeah,
he played
Mariner. Yeah,
a Mariner at one time. Right there he is.
that's
And oh, I love this guy in the 80s. He probably would be one of my top 10 80s pitchers. And even though he killed the Cardinals, but Frank Viola,
yeah.
great pitcher. Him and
Frank's
Bly,
Sweet Music. Viola.
yes. And he and Burt Blyleven, man, they were the 1-2 punch that beat us in 87 in the World Series right there. So that's the cards from that Topps Big Cards 1988.
Okay, the Fleer 1990. Open up the wax.
All right. Gum. You got the gum.
No, no gum in the Fleer.
Oh, no gum in the Fleer.
Baseball quiz. What was the original name of the California Angels?
Hmm. Original name. I don't know.
The Los Angeles Angels.
Okay.
True or false? Anaheim Stadium has the largest seating capacity in the American League. Now, this was in 1990.
I'll say it was a big stadium. I'll say false.
False. That's when Cleveland still had Municipal Stadium, 74,000.
And Oakland was pretty good size too.
And in Municipal Stadium, there'd be like 10,000 people in that
You
huge
had your
thing.
own hot dog vendor.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was great. True or false? The 1967 All-Star Game in Anaheim lasted 15 innings.
I'll say false.
True.
That's a true one.
I
Okay.
believe that's one where Tony Perez hit a home run in the 15th.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know that. Okay.
In what year did the Angels win their first American League West title?
I'm going to say uh 82,
79.
79. That was the Pirates year they won the World Series. I remember that.
Yeah.
So they must have played the Orioles because
Yeah.
was it
Ryan,
Orioles
that
Pirates?
Ryan was on that team.
Okay.
Okay. Shortstop for the Red Sox, Jody Reed.
Oh yeah. Nice career.
Yeah. First baseman for the White Sox, Greg Walker.
I remember
Decent
him. Yeah.
player. Uh, yeah, he 1 year he popped all the way up to 27 home runs. He's mid 20s home runs. Good guy. Pitcher for the Reds, Scott Scudder.
Barely remember him, Vince.
I remember the name because that's a cool name. Infielder for the Expos, I mostly remember him as a Blue Jay, I believe it was. Yes, Damaso Garcia.
Okay. Love that red jersey by the Expos right there.
Okay, JJ,
Yeah.
you know baseball cards. 1990 Ken Griffey Jr. Is that worth anything?
Well, that's like his second year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be worth a little bit, probably graded. If it was a 10 or a 9, you'd probably get something out of that. I don't know how many of those fleers they made that year, to be honest with you.
Okay. I just
But I see like the 10 best Griffey Jr. cards to get, and I'll be honest, I haven't seen that one in the 10. It's usually the upper decks, the 89 and 90, and then the ones that are like 1 of 10 with his autograph on it. Those are like really in demand.
by the way, first Hall of Famer.
First Hall of Famer, one.
Uh Outfielder for the Giants, also played for the Dodgers and the Braves. And Franklin, my dear, he didn't give a damn. Brett Butler.
Great bunter, by the way. It looks like he's bunting on the front of that card. Great bunter.
Yep. Um, Pitcher for the Detroit Tigers, Steve Cersei.
I remember him.
Um, Pitcher for the Dodgers, Oral Hershiser.
Oh yeah, the Bulldog
Yeah.
went to Cleveland there near the end. But what a career!
Pitcher for the Orioles, Dave Schmidt.
Dave Schmidt played with some other teams too.
Oh, outfielder for the Astros, and then went on to become a fish, Kevin Bass.
Yeah, Kevin Pass. Yeah.
Um, Once the MVP of the All Star game, former All Star catcher for the Athletics, Terry Steinbach.
Oh yeah, he was outstanding. Good on a great team. Very good
Uh,
play on a great team.
for the Braves, pitcher, gosh, I'm dropping these. Pete Smith.
Oh yeah. He was, you had the big three, and you always had that fourth guy. He was at one time he was that fourth guy on that
Yeah.
rotation.
Uh, Pitcher for the Yankees, Ray Carteret.
Don't know him.
Uh, Pitcher for the Phillies, whose brother was a great pop singer. His brother being Eric Carmen. This is Don Carmen.
Oh,
Don't
all by
fall.
myself. He's
Don't.
all by himself.
Oh, former All-Star outfielder for the Rangers, and I think he played for the Athletics for a spell. Ruben Sierra, Cha Cha.
I thought he was good. I mean, he was really good, but I thought he was going to be great.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
good.
very good.
Well, remember our contest. Remember top three free agents and how much you think the contracts are going to be worth. And yeah, there are two tickets on the line here. We'll probably throw in some other good crap too.
Oh yeah. And you
We,
can always take me or Vince. Come on.
yeah. And also, if you would like to um, go to Herculaneum High School Saturday from 9 to 1, I will be there and I'll be signing autographs and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Posing for pictures.
Yeah. Pose for pictures. Yeah. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, really,
Very,
we've got some really fun products that we're selling at the craft show. I don't know if do you go to craft shows,
I,
JJ?
I'm I'm coming Saturday. I'm coming
Do you
Saturday.
usually go to them?
Uh every once in a while. I'll be honest, every once in a while. Usually when we go, it's like a health fair, a craft show. It's a little bit of everything. You can get a massage, you can get a birdhouse, and I'm pretty happy. I'm a happy customer.
Oh, yeah. I one of the fun parts about doing craft shows is walking around and seeing what everybody else sells, and hey, I'll trade you this for this, and so uh, yeah, I always have fun going to them and talking to people, and uh, you know.
Oh yeah, me and my mom love stuff like that. Just going down there and checking everything out. Usually very crafty people. People come up with ideas I never would have thought of. And I'm always looking for some way a new way to display my baseball stuff. So I always find new ideas and stuff.
There's a lady, and she's got to be in her 60s, and she makes these little dolls, um, and they're unconventional looking, but she sometimes she puts a joint in their mouth. Just seems so weird.
Yeah, Joe
So
Boo.
yeah, so all right, well, everybody, we will see you next week. Ciao.
Ciao.